South Africa, welcome to it. This is Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Bonang Matiba.
And I'm Bonnie Booley.
Yes.
It's been a while since the three of us have been in the loft together.
Absolutely. Myself, Bonnie and Jeannie. It's a full house. It's going to be a really, really good show. And with all the drama and stress happening around our country at the moment, we thought today, let's take a moment and look back at our past. Today, we've got two authors who each have written a book about South Africa's unsung heroes of the past. That's going to be really awesome.
Yeah, and then we chat to an extraordinary young man, Sanele Xaba. He's a professional model who uses his platform to destigmatise albinism in Africa. And also the question we're asking you on social media today is, who are your South African heroes? Deanie's in the kitchen.
Thank you, ladies. So wonderful to have the Trinity in the loft today. And of course, with Clem, we're going a little bit sweet and a little bit spicy today. You are giving me the spicy.
I absolutely am.
Okay, what do we make?
Today with Woolies, I'm talking about their amazing new easy-to-entertain cheese range.
Yes.
These cheeses are amazing.
No, this week has been everything for me because of all the cheese that we're putting on the show.
Crazy.
Yes.
So I'm taking one of their amazing products and I'm stepping it up and stuffing it inside a chili, wrapping it in maple glazed bacon.
Similar to like a chili popper, just the other
but
way
we're
around.
not deep frying that one because I've got someone else in the loft who's going to be deep frying some cheese a little later.
Okay, so listen, if you want to make all of this tastiness that we're doing today, all you need to do is SMS the word spicy to 33650. SMSs cost R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. But with that SMS, you will receive the recipes, the shopping lists, you name it. And now, as Clem says, we're going to now also have a little bit of sweet in the kitchen with my dearest darling. How are you, Carrie?
I'm fine, and you?
Now, you deep frying. What are we deep frying?
Deep frying.
I love. What are we doing?
We're going to do deep fried. I like to call it double crunch goat's cheese, deep fried, with a berry compote with a good amount of black pepper. So it could be a dessert, it could be a starter, it could be even a cheese course.
That sounds absolutely incredible. I once went to a festival in the States that deep fried everything. They even deep fried butter.
Yeah, even for me,
this recipe will be available on afternoonexpress.co.za. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. Right now, though, the girls are on the couch with our very first guest.
All right, thank you so much, Jeannie. I'm looking forward to that. Looks absolutely delicious. Make sure you stick around so you can see the final result. But today on the show, we're taking a look back into the history of South Africa. While most of us know the story of how South Africa was formed and colonized to the atrocities of the apartheid regime, there's still some unsung heroes of our past. Our first guest today, Marilyn Honigman, has written a book about one such hero, Job Maseko, whose heroic deed was almost forgotten for 50 years. Marilyn, lovely to meet you. Welcome to the loft.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Only a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Let's get straight into the book. Let's talk about Job and how he ended up fighting in World War II.
Well, I wanted to know how he ended up fighting as well, and why 40% of South Africa's army was black.
How did you first come across the story about Job?
I was going to write a completely different story, and I went to the War Museum. I was going to write a story about a missing uncle, missing presumed dead. And I went there to do the research, and as I walked in, I saw the most wonderfully striking portrait of Job Maseko. And it stopped me in my tracks. There it is.
Yeah.
And there was something about his expression. I thought, there's something remarkable about this man. And underneath, it said, Job Maseko, MM. And a curator walked past, and I said, what's MM? And she said, military medal. And I said, when was this? She said, in the Second World War. And I said, a black South African soldier in the Second World War? I didn't know there were any. And she said to me, more than 40% of the South African army was black.
Wow.
And now this is the significant part. She said he was nominated for the Victoria Cross by a wonderful Colonel Sayer, who I'll mention again just now, who nominated him for the Victoria Cross.
That's incredible.
But it was vetoed because he was black.
Because he was black, yeah.
She said, and I said, well, what did he do? And she said, well, you can find out in the library. So I went into the library, and 2 hours later, I came out and thought, this is my book.
That's incredible. And then he was imprisoned in Libya.
He was a POW.
Right.
A POW.
So he went on to perform another heroic act.
No, that was the
Right,
he was a prisoner of war when he did it. And so when I researched the story, I thought, I'm going to go right back to how he came to enlist. And of course, they're little snippets that I got. There's very little written about him, which is why I wrote it as historical novel. The actual things that happened on the ship, he did his incredibly courageous and significant action on a ship in Tobruk Harbour while he was a POW. But I wanted to know what got him there. So I had to do quite a bit of research to find out why black South Africans enlisted. And in fact, there was a wonderful president of the ANC back then. Xuma was it X-U-M-A? Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah.
A great intellectual. And at first, he had said, black South Africans will not enlist unless they are given arms. Now, there was this balancing act. Smuts knew that the South African army needed black soldiers. But he only had a majority of 3 in his cabinet who agreed to black soldiers going at all, and they had to be without arms. And here was a black soldier blowing up a ship, right?
Wow.
But Xuma had said, unless they were armed, they wouldn't go. But plenty did. 128,000 black South Africans went. And then Xuma said, the South African government must not assume that men enlisting means they're approving of the South African government.
Gotcha.
They went to fight Hitler. And remember, what a lot of South African children don't know is that Hitler wanted a pure white race.
Yes.
And so I wanted to weave all of that into the story, into a book.
Incredible.
And then still have what happened, what he did on that ship.
And why do you think it's so important for South Africans to know this story, and why was it so important for you to put it into a book and to collect all this information and to make sure that you tell the story of a South African World War II hero?
Well, a great filmmaker called Vincent Malloy, who made a documentary about him, this is now unfortunately out of print, said, our mothers and fathers were denied the opportunity to know their history. And he had also seen that amazing painting. And he decided to make a movie. And luckily, when he did that a while back, Job Maseko's sister was still alive. And there were old people who had been veterans, who had been POWs at Tobruk.
Yeah.
And he could interview them. Now, I eventually got hold of Vincent Malloy and Eddie West, who was the producer of the movie. And I asked if I could buy a copy, and they said, we can't, no, you can't, it's out of print. And where are you anyway, and what do you want it for? Send us an email. So I did. 2 weeks later, this arrived in my postbox. And more than that, they sent me the unabridged transcripts of the interviews with Job Maseko's sister. Now, I got a brilliant little snippet. His sister at some stage said something about how her big brother, Job, when she was a little girl, took her to the grandparents' farm. And I thought, here's what my grandson calls the backstory, right?
Yeah.
I can start him back there on a farm, visiting the grandparents when he was still a child. Now, I have woven another story, because Job Maseko was a great hero who should have been a national and international hero. He should have won the Victoria Cross. 4 South Africans won the Victoria Cross.
There
My
should
book
have
is
been
called
5.
There should have been 5.
Wow, it sounds like an extraordinary book.
That's amazing.
And listening to you talk about it with so much passion is really exciting. I can't wait to read it.
Well, I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Now, today you stand a chance to win this fascinating book. There should have been 5. Simply SMS the keyword books to 33650. SMSs cost R1.50 each. T's and C's apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Jeannie standing by with your comments and questions.
Fantastic. Great interview today. And of course, we are celebrating South African heroes, but we want you to get involved in the conversation. So tweet us or comment on our Facebook page. Who is your South African hero? All you need to do is visit afternoonexpress.co.za or Afternoon Express on Facebook, or tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express. Still to come on the show, Clem and I start with that spicy dish in the kitchen. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. If you've just joined us, good timing, because we're just about to get started in the kitchen with something very cheesy. You missed Sanele in the kitchen.
It is, yeah. So Woolies have this amazing range of new fresh cheeses, and it's the new easy to entertain range. Now, I'm obsessed because when it comes to summer, I love hitting markets and festivals and concerts. And you know, it's everything, especially being a foodie, you have to take the best snacks to the concerts.
Absolutely.
So these are ideal. These are so crazy, and I must say this one has got to be my favorite. Okay, look at that. Okay. It's a medium fat cheese layered with some salmon, smoked salmon in the middle. It is so good. There was 3 other ones there. They've been eaten, okay? It's that good, seriously. So we've already used the ones with the mascarpone and the smoked chili pesto on there.
Yeah.
And I'm literally obsessed, okay? And it spreads across the savory ones. You get the sweet ones as well. Now,
is that the one with the cranberries in it?
And it's got the pecans and it's got the figs.
I've had the one with the cranberries in it. It's my favorite.
So delicious.
I'm a sucker for a good cheese.
And, and how easy it is, like if someone walks in the door, you've got these, you've got like a starter done.
Exactly.
This and some wine and you're sorted. Happiness.
Happiness.
So I'm taking one of their new cheeses as well. This one's got the shimula in there already.
What is shimula?
Shimula, well, it's kind of like, it's an extra seasoning, like a sauce that's over something that's been, this has been folded through the cream cheese already.
Yes.
So I mean, just look at that, the way that it comes. It's got the almonds on top there. It is magic. So let's get started. So this goes straight into our bowl. This is perfect as is to stuff our chilies. But I just want to add a little more.
Of course
Why not?
you do.
So I've got some mozzarella cheese because you want to get that long stringy pull. Mozzarella cheese just been finely grated.
I mean, this is definitely going to be my favorite thing in the world.
It's so good. It is really so good.
Yeah.
Some lemon zest, and you just want to mix it all together. Okay. The lemon zest just brings out all the flavor. Again, I say it all the time. The lemon just elevates all the other flavors that you already have in there.
Yeah.
And okay, so Woolies have these amazing jalapeno chilies that are ready for stuffing, but that's medium heat, right?
Yeah.
I'm playing around.
Is it like this?
Yeah, they're slightly bigger than this, and they're specifically for stuffing.
Oh, really? So they've already been cleared out of all the seeds inside?
No, but they actually don't have a lot of seeds inside, so you don't have to do any digging.
Perfect.
I'm stepping it up a bit, and I'm going with these Serenade chilies. So, okay, Serenade, there's nothing serenading about it. These guys are like little soldiers.
Hot?
It's not very hot, but it's good. If you like chilies, you're going to love this.
Amazing.
So all I do is I just slit it down the side. I mean, we'll get one over here. Really easy. And they're quite big. I love these for stuffing as well. So if you're not a novice, go for these guys. It's so amazing. And you can see it's got some seeds and ribs inside, and that's where a lot of that heat is.
Is the burn in the seed?
The burn's in the seed and in the rib. So you got to be careful. After you do this, go wash your hands.
Yeah, don't rub your eyes after this. Okay, but now if I just eat this now, it won't be burny.
A little bit, but
it'll just have a bite. Okay.
Go for it if you want to. No, don't. You still got to do a whole show.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Split it open. Take some of this filling. Actually, I'm going to use the teaspoon. And it's real simple. Just get it in there. And the trick when it comes to making these guys is not to stuff it too much. Which is what I say as I overstuff my chili.
Yeah, I haven't overstuffed mine, I'm afraid.
So pop those down there for now. Perfect. So next step is our bacon. Now, normally you dip these in like a batter and you deep fry them.
Exactly.
I want to say this is healthier. It's not. It's not. But it's yummier, okay?
I adore you, Claire.
We're not deep frying it, but we're going to wrap it in some streaky bacon.
Sure. Oh.
Look at that. And all you got to do, you just start at the top.
Yeah.
and you just wind it down.
But that's a bacon popper.
It's
a
a
bacon
bacon
chili
popper.
Because I don't necessarily, some places don't deep fry theirs and it actually works.
Yeah, I love bacon. It's just another extra texture, and that smoky flavor gets inside there. Okay, now the trick, again, double wrap these guys, okay? We don't go lightly on Afternoon Express.
No.
You got to double wrap them.
So
And
that's not enough. You need more than that.
No, you got, like, why?
Another piece of bacon?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so a skewer just to secure it, but we're not done just yet, okay? So what you want to do, these already have amazing smoky flavor, that amazing fat from the bacon comes through, and it kind of like seasons the chili so well, while all that cheesy goodness inside just turns into like molten lava. It is so hot and so fiery. It's like 10 degrees of hot on this chili.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do to end it all off is you get some maple syrup,
Sure.
because the maple syrup, that sweetness goes so well with
you're going
it,
to do that.
and just brush it on there.
Oh, that just looks so decadent.
And it goes to the oven, and it comes out looking so beautiful like this.
And it gets caramelized like that.
Because of
when you
that
fry it.
maple on the outside, it goes so sweet and sticky and
yes.
charry and delicious. Okay, you're not going to do this every day, but hey, just like once.
But when you do, you're going to enjoy it.
All right.
Yay!
And to finish it all off, I've got some sriracha, because it's not hot enough.
Yeah.
Some sriracha and some sweet chili sauce, just to kind of balance out that heat.
Amazing.
And that is, okay, it's hot. But
You
it's so
are
good.
so hot right now. And if you want to follow this recipe and if you want to make this dish, and trust me, you know you do, all you need to do is SMS the keyword spicy to 33650, and there you will get all of the recipes and, of course, the shopping list so that you'll be able to make this at home. SMSs cost R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. Right now, though, let's have a little recap.
Now, today we're looking back at the history of South Africa and highlighting unsung heroes whose stories have recently been brought to light. Our next guest, Elsie Brits, has written a book about Emily Hobhouse, a passionate pacifist and a feminist who Elsie refers to as the beloved traitor. Welcome to The Loft, Elsie.
Thank you very
Lovely
much.
to have you with us. Who was this woman and why do you refer to her as the beloved traitor?
Well, Emily came to this country during the Anglo-Boer War, not as a pro-Boer, but as a person who was so appalled by what happened in this country during the war, because the women and children wore the brunt of the war, that she, in her own country, she was called a traitor because she came to help the women and children of this country, and they saw her as a traitor. And that's why I call her the beloved traitor, because people loved her here.
Yeah.
And when she came to the concentration camps, and it was actually so appalling, there were 64 camps in which black people were interred, and 50 camps where white people were interred. And she tried to help them, and it's thanks to her that so many people were saved during this appalling war. And what was the most terrifying thing of this camp, that 55,000 people died in these camps, and the sadness is that 80% of them were black and white children.
Wow. What was it about her life that intrigued you so much that it eventually motivated you to write this book and research her life?
I wanted to cast her also in a new light, to bring the history in a more gender and politically sensitive way across, because previously it was just from one perspective, and I wanted to write it as this woman who was such a pacifist and a liberal, and she made this profound speech in 1913 at the opening of the Women's Monument. And I just want to read you one
Absolutely,
paragraph.
yeah.
And in this she said, and I so wish that the people would listen to her, and she said that it is the equal right and the heritage of every child of man, without distinction of race, colour and sex, to be free. And she said this in 1913. What a wonderful thing.
Yeah, yeah, very progressive
Very
at that
progressive,
time. Yeah.
yeah.
And you also travelled to her home and found a chest of writings. I mean, that must have been a lucky find for a writer. Tell us what happened. What did you discover?
I went to a family's brother's son's daughter's house in Canada, and there I found scrapbooks, and I found diaries,
Wow.
and I found letters that she wrote. And in those letters, she really came to life, in which she said that this war that happened in this country, where 30,000 farms were burned down, and there was a famine right through the Transvaal, the then Transvaal and Free State, made her a socialist, and it changed her opinion. So I wanted to break away from the maybe romantic view that people had of this woman if they knew of her, and I was very adamant as well that the book that I wrote originally in Afrikaans were to be translated into English so that a broader audience can hear about this profound woman. Because you know what happens in war? The woman wears the brunt of the war. They're the ones who gets raped and whose children dies.
Yes, the women and the children.
The women and the children.
Yeah.
And eventually the men, they get the honours and the statues and the things. And I wanted to bring this wonderful heroine to light.
Yeah. And how did she use her passion to help women and children?
Well, she was quite influential, and then she would start funds. And from those funds, she would literally go into the concentration camps, and also later, after the war, she started ploughing schemes so that the earth could be ploughed again. And I think one of my favourite anecdotes of Emily was when she came to Rates, she was sitting in this house, and they said to her, "There's a man at the kitchen door who would like to see you." But it's a black man, and she immediately stood up and left everybody, and she walked with him. And this was a very well-known reverend of the town. And she walked with him to his school, and he was an educator, and the children sang for her. And, you know, she talked to everybody.
Yeah.
And the people were absolutely shocked that she did that. And she said, "No, I want to see the whole extent of what happened during this war."
Yeah.
And she met him and his wife, and she even played with the baby. And this was these little anecdotes that was maybe written out of history that I wanted to write back into the history of the complete Emily.
Yeah. Well, people speak very highly of your book. I mean, Advocate Thuli Madonsela even tweeted about your book.
Yes, I mean, that was a highlight that she... shortly after the book was published, she got a hold of the book, and she read it, and she tweeted, and she said that she loved the book and that Emily inspires her. And I must say, I'm honoured that she did that.
Well, from one inspiring woman to another. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
The competitions don't stop on Afternoon Express. You also stand a chance to win this book, Emily Hobhouse, Beloved Traitor. Simply SMS the keyword Express to 33650. SMSs are R1.50 each. T's and C's apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Let's go back to social media to hear what you have to say. Bonang.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. Please keep all those comments coming. We definitely love to hear from you on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We're all over it. We're taking over social media. And the question we're asking you today is, who is your South African hero? I've got a tweet here from, a Facebook message. Hope, thank you very much for watching. Hope Gianni says, my hero, well, it's 2016, and my hero is the fabulous, not just fabulous, but the woman with a great heart, Bonang Matheba. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. She keeps growing, becoming one of the most successful. Okay, enough. Yolanda Lee Mokami says, the late Steve Biko, I admire his fearlessness and how unapologetic he was. And I'm so proud of the legacy and knowledge he has left behind. Thank you so much, Yolanda. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people are going to agree with you, Darren. Definitely Nelson Mandela for all that he has done in this country. Absolutely. And Unogulunga Sibayoni says, Bonnie Mbuli is my shiro. The fact that she adopted a child is priceless. She gave hope to a kid out there. Absolutely. Well, Theo, we see you. Vivian, thank you very much. Junior and everybody that's on Facebook and chatting to us. Keep them coming, all right? And also, if you are on Twitter, use our official hashtag Afternoon Chat, Afternoon Express. We'll see you after the break. More happening right here on SABC3. Keep it locked.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back. We're live on SABC3. This is Afternoon Express. Thank you very much for sticking around. I'm very excited to be chatting to our next guest. Now, albinism is a condition that to this day is still stigmatized in most of Africa. And our next guest hasn't let any of these stigmas hold him back. He's succeeding as He's succeeding at a career as a model while at the same time raising awareness for albinism acceptance in Africa. Joining us now in the loft is Sanele Xaba. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi, ladies.
So
How
good to
are
have
you?
here.
Awesome.
Can I tell you something? So I'm like staunch into Twitter, you know, absolutely obsessed with Twitter. And the other day you sent out a very fire tweet. You said, now you better listen to me, y'all. All right? Albinism is a condition. It is not a race. Stop calling people with albinism albinos. And what else did you say? Yes, I'm a black man with albinism. That was so powerful. But usually when somebody sends out a tweet like this, something was happening. What was happening, Boo?
Well,
What was happening? Where did that stem from?
Well, it was actually Albinism Awareness Month, and I was told by a couple of my friends that, well, you're a model with albinism and you don't even say anything about it. So I decided, you know what, let me just, you know, because I'm just doing my job, you know, I'm just doing everything, but I haven't really, you know, decided to, you know, take upon this to actually just raise awareness about it. So I decided to hop into Twitter and just to make a statement because it's a term that is commonly used, which actually started in the 17th century. Balthazar Tellez, who was a traveller, actually coined the name albinos to white. To African guys in Congo, we actually saw men who were actually walking, and he decided to call them albinos, which is actually a derogatory term because he thought there was actually two races. So, well, my mom taught me that. It's a history. So basically, it is a derogatory term to call someone an albino. So you need to, like, I mean, so I decided to just raise awareness about this, and also just, well, if you go further into that, I decided to actually give a different forms of albinism because it's a skin condition. So there's like 4 types of ocular albinism, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which affects the different races in the world. So,
I want to know, when was it in your life that you were confronted with being different? Did you ever feel different?
well, you know, I went to a multiracial school. So I mean, in school and home, at home, you're basically in this shelter where you don't have anyone asking these questions. You know, I grew up in a Zulu horror household, and you know, it was basically chilled. You know, it was just, my mom always taught me that it's just a different shade. It's a different shade. don't look at it as something different. And obviously, you'll get the stares when you go outside in public. You know, they're like, "Why are you so white? Why is your mom black and why are you white?" And I had to, you know, because obviously in schools, you know, they will ask such questions. My mom enrolled me to a school once, and then, you know, they did give my mom like a random stare, you know, asking her, like, you know, obviously just, you know, to raise awareness, you know, but your child is, you know. But, you know, obviously, when people need to be educated about, you know, this is this condition. Exactly as vitiligo, no one calls them a vitiligian, a little vitiligian or something like that. So it's just a condition, just as vitiligo.
Absolutely. And you opened a lot of minds and a lot of hearts and educated a lot of people, and I need to be honest, including me. Absolutely. And now you've become one of South Africa's most celebrated models, an international runway model. When did you fall in love with modeling? When did you know
it actually
that you are
Well, I was 15 years old, braces, really bad acne.
Yeah.
Like the typical puberty was not my friend. So, I mean, I was scouted in Durban, my hometown, by an agency called Indoni Models. And yeah, I was 15 years old, and obviously I went on acne 10 the next thing. Like, I had no acne. I removed my braces, and yeah, I got my first campaign for a Durban-based designer called Andre Martin. He's a streetwear designer, and he gave me. I was the face of his brand for 2 years, and yeah.
The rest is history.
You walked at Bermuda Fashion Week. I mean, how was that?
I mean, hello.
I'm the face of Bermuda Fashion Week.
That is amazing.
Child, get it correct.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's fantastic. How was that experience? Wow.
It was amazing. The people are super friendly. They were really welcoming. I did a whole lot of meet and greets with people at the Bermuda, really small country. Well, island,
yes.
60,000 people in the whole, but they're really amazing. It was an amazing experience. Getting to see how they do Fashion Week is really different from our SA Fashion Week, New York, London, all of that. They have their own version of Fashion Week, which was amazing.
Now let's talk about, the world of modelling. It is changing. I mean, we've seen the likes of Tando, Hopper, we've seen Vanilla Black, Refilo, we're seeing you. What would you say to somebody that has albinism and wants to get into the modelling industry? And what should they do? Where do they start?
Celebrate you. I mean, at first, I always tell people who ask me the exact same question, it all starts with self-love. And when I do a lot of talks at schools and, for mainly teenagers, it all starts with self-love. If you celebrate yourself, it just goes out there. And I mean, if you actually gonna love yourself for who you are, I mean, so many things will actually come into place. If you're gonna just stand for who you are, variety is a spice of life. And if you have albinism, vitiligo, freckles, I mean, imagine if we were all one race and we know, what society depicts as being beautiful. It would be really boring. And I think that's the fashion industry has basically started celebrating sporadics. People who have a sporadic look, and it's amazing. And we get to actually advocate for for all of these stereotypes and to basically eradicate them.
But what a beautiful message that you've just said now, and I think it's such a beautiful mantra for people to go by. Celebrate you.
I love it. Really love it. Sanele, you are
You're on fire.
killing it, boy. Thank you so much for coming. You really are an inspiration.
Thank you so much.
You are really, absolutely amazing. Really, one of our heroes today as we continue to celebrate South African heroes. Bonnie, what do you have there, boo?
Wow, what an extraordinary young man, and definitely one of our heroes. It's great to have him in the loft today. We also started a conversation on social media. We asked you who are your South African heroes, and Natalie van Rooyen says all cancer survivors and the doctors who are helping them to stay alive. That's true indeed. They are the true heroes, including my father, who has lung cancer. Thank you for sharing, Natalie. Tsulufelo Letitia Lashvanti says, my very own mother is my hero. She carried me for 9 months and brought me up with love and care. That's why I love my hero, my Mama Africa. So sweet. Nelson Mandela, because he was so selfless and did everything in his power to make a better South Africa for everyone. Thank you so much for all your comments. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we chat to you about the longest test drive in history and more cooking in the kitchen. Don't go away.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, coming to you live on SABC3. Now, when Kia decided to set the record for the world's longest test drive using their brand new Sportage, the route was carefully planned out and beautiful stops along the way were a must. And one of those stops was for a very good cause.
It's day 4 of the world's longest test drive, and we're currently at the Kia dealership in Bloemfontein. The first stop of the day is Itumeleng Primary School, and from there, we're going to be heading down to the coast.
Make me feel like Schumacher. Oh, really?
We are at Itumeleng Primary School in Reddersburg, where we're doing an educational supply drop-off to the school. The school lacks a few supplies like general exercise books, calculators, math sets.
Count ourselves to be the blessed school to be chosen amongst all the schools throughout 6 provinces. It is our wish that we should have a long relation with Kia. And in terms of social responsibility, Kia must always remember us here.
So I think what we're able to do in this country is we take a fantastic looking product and we put it in unbelievable landscapes. People need to be reminded of the beauty of this country. Not just the beauty of the landscapes, the beauty of the nature, but the beauty of the variety of people.
So this morning we left Bloemfontein on our way to East London, crossed the Orange River in Adderville North, which is our halfway point. We're looking forward to getting down to the coast. It's quite fun. And,
Now, seeing them travel through our beautiful country, you cannot help but feel so thankful. And with such a beautiful act of kindness, it makes the journey that much more special. For more, visit kiaworldrecord.co.za and follow their social media using their handle Kia Motors SA. From changing gears to gym gear, how often do you change your gym wear? Do you go grab a coffee in your gym gear after a run? Well, today's Even Tone tip of the day looks at how the clothes you work out in can cause blemishes all over your body. Eek.
Body breakouts are common. The mixture between sweat and germs is the culprit. Dettol's Even Tone tip of the day shows you how to avoid body breakouts this summer. If you are prone to acne or other bodily breakouts, make sure you exercise in silky, moisture-wicking fabrics. Following your workout, cleanse with Dettol Even Tone to remove oil, dirt and germs from your skin, ensuring that you keep it even this summer.
Now, we've been asking you to share your Keep It Even summer selfies with a chance of winning a fantastic prize, perfect for the summer. The entries have been amazing, and congratulations to our finalists for their top tips. Zintle Smith said this: I'm absolutely in love with Dettol Even Tone Hygiene Soap. The dark marks on my cheeks was left with a huge ringworm that developed a few weeks ago. For 2 weeks, I've been using this soap religiously, and it has been fading ever since. I'm so happy with the result. I've been thinking of creating a campaign on Instagram. Nice. Okay, Zintle_Smith. Very, very nice.
Hashtag keep it even.
Hashtag keep it even.
What's your beauty tip?
I've got lots. Number one.
Bonan could write a book on it.
We could be here all afternoon. Number one, never ever sleep with makeup. You know that the icky thing that happens when you sleep with makeup, it really is revolting.
It is,
And I mean, a couple of weeks you did say you drink a lot of water with lemon. I just say, whatever you do, each and every day, try to drink at least 4 glasses of water. And you taught, Jeannie J. taught me that. You need to drink a lot of water.
I basically drown myself every day in water. I guzzle that stuff back.
do.
Absolutely. Now, Tiamo Muchekwae sent us this comment. People often ask me how I keep my skin healthy and smooth. I tell them I use Dettol Even Tone, wash my face with it twice a day and rinse with warm water. And my skin stays as healthy as a horse and as smooth as chocolate. Dettol refreshes like nothing else. Hashtag keep it even. Hashtag Dettol Even Tone.
Very nice.
Now, after much consideration, the lucky girl to walk away with the Dettol Even Tone summer hamper is...
Ka-ching!
Ashley Prinsloo with this comment. It sounds like a Skinderella story because today I'm basking in my glory after all my poor epidermis mistakes. I've realized Dettol Even Tone is the best make because of Avo's dual power of helping skin and being edible. Today I look skin credible.
Nice.
Congratulations, Ashley. We're going to be sending you Dettol goodies, a selfie stick, and of course an LG camera phone. LG cam phone. That's going to be so awesome. Now remember, to everybody else at home, you can still enter to win an amazing hamper for yourself, and here's how.
Keep it even this summer with Dettol Even Tone and stand a chance to win one of 4 fantastic summer selfie hampers, which include Dettol Even Tone products, an LGX cam phone, and the Striker Pose summer selfie stick. Everything you need for the perfect summer selfie. To enter, simply post a picture on our Afternoon Express Facebook page of how you and your BFF get summer ready using the hashtag Keep It Even. The competition closes on the 28th of October. T's and C's apply and are available on our website.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, this week on the show, we've brought you cheese, and more cheese. And now we're going to deep fry some of that cheese. So, Carrie, how do we get started with this delicious little dessert slash starter?
Slash cheese.
Slash
course.
yumminess.
Cool. So I think for starters, let's do the compote.
Yes.
It's just stewed berries, basically. So we're going to get the pot on. And if you could please pass me the berries. These are frozen berries that we've just thawed out. So berries are in season now. So you could use fresh berries, but then you just need to add extra berry juice to it.
Okay.
And then
is that just
water,
to get it sweeter? There's some water for you.
and possibly that salati caster snow.
Salati caster snow.
So it's
I love being your kitchen hand, actually.
Yes, I love you as well, being my sous chef. Equal amounts caster snow to water. I like using the caster sugar, caster snow, because it dissolves quite nicely in the liquid.
Thinner,
yeah.
Not finer.
Absolutely. And then what we need to do is add, in my recipe it actually says add the corn flour later, but I must be honest, at home I just chuck it all in at once. So let's just do that. It's that little one
is
over
that
there.
corn flour? Okay,
Yes.
I almost gave you that flour because I don't know the difference.
So how you do it, you just get a bit of liquid. I mean, you can't just add...
What would change it if you had to throw it in a little bit later, though?
Nothing really. It's just you're kind of supposed to reduce the liquid first to the consistency you like, and then the corn flour kind of just thickens it a little bit more, just to give it that nice coating consistency. Should you want to put it on a cheesecake or something like that?
Lovely.
In this case, a nice dipping consistency for the goat's cheese.
Amazing.
Okay.
Then?
So that's just going to simmer. We're going to forget about that now.
Okay.
Okay.
Compot's done.
This goat's cheese, if you can cut that into, the challenge is to cut it into 6 equal portions.
Great.
Okay. So we're going to do that.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. I'm just going to get the oil on. Get that going. And then while you're doing that, I'm quickly just going to make a batter, which is... Am I in your way, Jeannie?
Not at all.
In my recipe, once again, I say civet, but no. Actually, in my kitchen, I just chuck everything in. So it's cake flour, corn flour, which adds extra crunch to it. And then we've got egg. You can also add that, 1 egg. You can just chuck the... Oh, now my hand's all eggy.
I'll bring you a latte,
Thank
don't worry.
you.
No, I won't.
And
I
then
can't find one.
we add some... I'll wipe it on my apron. And then...
Exactly, that's why you're wearing one. Come
exactly. Use my apron. Okay. And then some soda water, which actually helps kind of make it bubbly, and it works so nicely with the corn flour.
Yeah.
And it just bubbles it up really nicely. What I need, for some reason, I don't know why, sometimes when the flour is really fresh, it absorbs a lot more liquid. It needs more liquid to get thinner. So if you want to just give me a little more water from the sink, just a tad. And this will be the dipping batter consistency for my little goat's cheese balls. Once you do that, perfect.
Brought you some water.
If you can roll those now.
Into balls?
Into those little balls.
Sure.
So Jeannie wants to replicate these. Okay. So we're just going to add a bit more soda water.
Yeah.
Awesome. Get that going.
I love goat's cheese, but I've never actually spent this much time with goat's cheese in my
Really?
hands.
I love goat's cheese.
Goat's cheese is the best. It's so delicious.
It's so good. You can use it as a sweet or savoury sort of sense.
I use it in salads. I use it on toast, everything.
Oh, divine.
Yeah.
Now, where was I now?
I don't know, but we've got 2 minutes left of the show.
Let's do this. Okay, slotted spoon. So this is how we're going to do it. So how you coat them is you dip it in some batter.
Yeah.
Without dirtying your hands. Then you dip it in some dried breadcrumbs. I'll just do 2 at a time.
Yeah.
2 for now.
I mean, I'm working over here. You've got so many left over here.
Exactly. You just kind of demonstrating what to do.
Yeah.
And without getting your hands too dirty, you just do that.
Yeah.
Use my apron because I don't have a cloth.
Sure. And now you're going to dump that into there.
I'm going to dump it in here. And if you wanted even double crunch factor, dip it in the batter again and in the crumbs again. But we're not going to do that now because we
It's
don't
not
have
really
time.
necessary.
Yeah, but if you want the double crunch, then it is necessary.
Oh, yeah. And is a double crunch amazing? Would you recommend it?
Yes. When I was tasting the recipe, my husband was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, your husband must really love being married to you, making all this amazing stuff.
So that is frying. And the compot's cooking.
And we've got the finished ones over here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's what the compote will actually look like. Nice and thickened.
Ta-da!
Crispy on the outside, all gooey in the middle. delicious.
Exactly. The magic
Okay.
of TV, we've got them already made and already tasty. We're going to do
Okay.
those for our crew. Thank you so much. And remember, you can make this delicious goat's cheese and berry compote. And the recipe is on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. I'm going to go and see if our guests find this just as delicious.
I hope so.
Coming in, some
really good.
delicious goat's
Yeah.
cheese. Today we're serving sweet and sour. So this is
Yeah.
kind of the sweetiness and that's the spiciness.
Fantastic. So
that's
I
going to be
guess-
very spicy. I really hope you guys like it.
Well, dig in. Dig
There you
dig
go.
in. There you
Cheers.
go.
Amazing.
Thank you
How
so
good.
much. Thank you to all our wonderful guests for coming through. We're back again tomorrow, live at 5 on SABC3. From all of us here on Afternoon Express, it's good evening and happy eating.
Ciao.
Cheers.
Can I offer anyone anything? Yes. Do you want a little cup?
Another feel-good production.